What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Rev Report. Today we'll be looking at a 2013 Skoda Yeti. So we'll be going through its interior, exterior, special features, exhaust note and driving dynamics. Stay tuned. So starting off with the exterior of the Skoda Yeti 2013, we have got a very standard silver towards a brownish or mostly silver color. It's got all halogen headlights and tail lights, no LED fanciness or anything around here. It's also got rear parking sensors, a pretty big single exhaust pipe, which my fist can also almost fit in, for a 1.2 litre TSI petrol engine. It's got 17-inch alloy wheels. I believe these are from the newer Yeti, from the generation after this one. Actually, LED indicator mirrors, side mirrors. We've also got, so these round lights act as daytime running lights. I believe half of them actually, because when you turn off the lights, it goes to just turn on the one circular headlights. And yeah, as you can see, pretty standard Skoda design, you know, nothing fancy. It's got these fake air vents on the side grills there. All of that is not fake. Obviously, being a 1.2 litre, I guess it needs all the air it needs, all the air that is available to it. As you can see, Yeti, so it's not a Octavia or a Volkswagen, you know. The build quality in this car is actually pretty solid. It's really comparable to its sister brands, so Volkswagen and Audi. So when you open the door, everything just feels, you know, really well put together. So when you close it, it shuts really solidly. As you can hear, it's all pretty solid. So this engine makes 77 kilowatts and 175 Newton meters and has an acceleration time of 11.8 seconds. Oof, bro, that is so quick. So it is the 1.2 litre turbo petrol Volkswagen Audi engine and Skoda, and also is mated to a 6-speed manual gearbox, front wheels only. This engine in particular does have a common issue with the timing chain stretching and the tensioner of the timing chain also going bad. That would need to be looked at roughly between the 60,000 to 100,000 kilometer mark. So when you get to that mileage, if you have one, just make sure that there are no signs such as a rattling noise or loss of power or a rough idle as well. So these can all be symptoms that your timing chain or tensioner or both need to be replaced. Other than that, the manual gearbox in this car is pretty much the main unique selling statement of this car. So if you're not getting it with a manual, what's the point of getting it? Basically, you have so many more reliable options out there. Being a fairly basic and not really fun car to drive. The manual gearbox is pretty loose. It's not really anything exciting either, but then if you want a good daily, I guess, something more interesting, then manual is definitely recommended in this car. So whilst on the topic of mechanicals of this car, let's head in to hear the exhaust. Moving into the interior. Heading into the boot, we've got 416 litres of boot space. We've also got some space on the sides, as you can see, and a full-size spare wheel, actually, with the steel wheels, and some tools in there, and some space underneath along the spare tyre. We've also got a 12-volt auxiliary and some of these shopping hooks as well. Oh, probably just on, no, actually we have to push it in. Yep, so some shopping bag hooks here, hook there, pretty practical. and you've just got the one off-white light in the boot space. Heading into the interior. So jumping into the interior of the Skoda Yeti, it is fairly basic. It's all very rugged plastic in here, basically. Not really any fancy leather or soft padding. The whole thing is pretty much plastic, apart from this padded fake leather here, and this sort of rubberized plastic here. All of this is just very durable plastic. There's not much going on in the interior, basically, other than the Skoda logo. Okay, thanks, bye. No, I'm joking. We've also got this plastic door handle, this very, you know, Volkswagen Group type of side mirror adjuster. Jumping in. So, as you heard, the door is fairly solid when you close it, all doors that is. You've got some space here for like your phone or some envelopes. Also, you've got a very small digital instrument cluster, and the rest is analog. We've got this radio system, so the sound system is actually pretty decent in this car. You've got the main woofers on the bottom and these small tweeters. I believe they're only on the front doors and the rear actually as well. So, and going at the rear, it's also very similar in terms of quality and the structure or the design of how everything is, or the layout. You've got the really big door pockets on each side of the rear doors. You've also got rear air vents and fabric seats all around. This one has some seat covers, which is good. The front doors also have door pockets each side, driver and passenger. You've also got this neat glove box which opens up with a button. Some books in here. As you can see, the 6-speed manual. Basically the you know, the text is pretty much worn out. A 12-volt auxiliary input in here. Locking and unlocking the doors. Cup holders. These are very small cup holders. Some manual AC controls, all knob type. And the radio is basically auxiliary input and CD and a radio. So there's not really much going on. With the steering, so obviously no paddle shifters, it's a manual. It's got these buttons on it. So basically these to control your little instrument cluster in the middle. This side controls the radio basically. When you press this scroll knob, it actually activates the voice control system, which is just such a pain in the bum, or in the backside, sorry, to deactivate and to cancel. It just takes ages to do that. Thankfully, this car does have something automatic, so it's the automatic wipe windows, along with the automatic side mirrors, so you don't have to adjust them manually. The window switches on each door are like this, so they're not usually where other cars are situated on the armrest. They're actually situated next to the door handle. And that's all the doors apart from the driver's door. And so yeah, when you start up the car, it seems that the air circulation is very unfiltered, very open to the rest of the world, because basically the car in here at night time, or when left parked for a long time, it just feels like it's become a forest, or it's become some sort of natural habitats for some bugs or something, because it's just completely open right now. Like, we are getting, you know, air from the outside. So that's pretty much the interior. I'm telling you, it's very basic. I mean, you've got these reading lights at the top. You've also got those lights as well, so you can actually turn them off and keep them for the door in the middle location, and then you press that to actually turn on this light. Sun visors as well. These do not extend when placed on your side of your head, so fairly basic. And yeah, very basic rear view mirror as well. Oh, spider. Wow. But yeah, a very basic rear view mirror. I'm just trying to look for the spider, sorry. So at the rear of the Skoda Yeti, I'll jump in. The rear seating is actually fairly okay. I mean, you haven't really got much adjustment. You do have the these levers here that you can use to adjust the seats, and so it actually leans back a bit, so it does provide that extra comfort that even some luxury cars don't provide, such as the Porsche Macan, as we saw earlier. This has some space in here, and the footwell in the rear is pretty deep, so no issues with sitting as if you're in the fetal position. It's pretty much really comfortable. No space between my thighs and the seat bench, and heaps of foot space. But then again, as you know, I'm a pretty short guy, so I would have a lot of space at the rear of where I would normally sit at the driver's seat. So yeah, and that's pretty much how this is at the rear. Not really much going on for it. The middle seatbelt is on the ceiling there, as you can see. This little critter here is your rear parking sensor alert. So it turns on when the rear parking sensors are finding out that you're pretty close to something. At the moment, the rear parking sensors don't work as good because of the broken sensor, the one sensor that was broken, as you may have seen. But yeah, that's pretty much the rear. Now let's go on to see the driving dynamics. So driving the Yeti, it is pretty much, you need to rev it out as much as you can so that it picks up and goes. And as you may be able to hear, the wheel bearings are pretty much gone on the left front passenger wheel side. So, but other than that, it drives fine. It is very slow. So, and as you can see, there is so much play. The steering wheel is so soft, so loose. And this is the shifter right here. Heaps of play in 5th gear right now. So, yeah, it's very much a workhorse. Nothing more, nothing less. So yeah, you do need to rev it out. Other than that, because of the tire profiles, it is a very comfortable car somewhat. Potholes you can't really feel, it's just like, yeah, whatever, I'll deal with it for you. Actually, it's more comfortable than, say, a S-Line Audi or something like that. So yeah, not really much to it. Handling wise, it's alright. I mean, it is somewhat of a small SUV, you can call it. So, but other than that, body roll is not in, can't really feel. It's just a lot of play with that steering wheel. So, you know. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and hope to see you all in the next video. Cheers. What is up, guys? Welcome back. Gosh, no. So this engine makes 77 kilowatts and 175 Newton meters, blows you out of the water, 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 11.8 seconds. So pretty wow. This also is with a 6-speed nut, so it wouldn't be too much of an issue. Anyways, moving on to the